Hey, this is Coach Bill, and I'm coming to you today to talk about refocusing our intentions on losing weight, on how to go about being healthy in a revolutionary way. It's all about how we eat. It's about taking the time and changing our intention to pay attention to our consumption in a mindful way. And this is what I teach in my practice: mindfulness and meditation, focusing on being present in the moment. So just listen to me for a little bit. And at the end, I have a 30-minute meditation that can help you refocus. So I hope you'll stick through it. But first, I want to talk about and put everything in perspective. We start out on these diet plans, randomly selection some plan that might work for us. And it's just this yo-yo dieting. We've all done it. You lose the weight, you feel good, you go back to eating the way you were, and you gain the weight back. And most of the time, you gain even more back. Because these deprivation diet plans don't work. When you eliminate something from your diet, unless you're going to do that for the rest of your life, as soon as you put it back into your diet, you're going to put the weight back on, and then some. The intention is always good, and we always put in the effort, and it's so frustrating that a year from now we look back and say, gosh, I lost 30 pounds, but now I weigh 40 pounds more. Anything that limits your options is more than likely going to fail. It backfires when you get back to reality. I have so many clients who come to me to get healthy. It never fails. In our sessions, we talk about food, the emotional connection with food, how much we enjoy food. Everyone tells me, in the end, how much we love to eat. We all love to eat. There's great joy in eating. Some of our greatest memories revolve around food. Our interactions with our family and friends, going out and discovering great new restaurants, learning new recipes, trying different foods are all great things we love to eat. In fact, some of us live to eat, and I did it for so long. I worked in the food industry. Many of my friends still work in the food industry. Food is awesome. So why would we ever want to deprive ourselves? It's futile to keep trying to deny ourselves. So my intention on writing this blog is to change the focus from dieting to eating mindfully. Instead of focusing on the what not to do's, let's focus on how to do it differently. I build my practice around this, so it's no wonder that I'm promoting it, and this is a good time to do it. So let's dig in a little deeper. Mindful eating is the practice of focusing our attention on the act of eating, on paying attention to the smell and the look, to the flavors, while being focused on the experience and not being distracted by other things. Just like meditation, it involves slowing down on being present in order to derive pleasure and satisfaction from every little bite. Mindful eating can be a transformative habit. It helps us avoid overconsumption. And when we do it right, it rekindles the simple joy of being present with our food and the experience of consuming it. As I said, I worked in the food industry for decades. I studied the eating habits of people over the years. So I have a good perspective on this thing called eating. Many people who love to eat aren't truly loving the food. They're just escaping. They're loving the escape that they get while eating. It's comforting, and it can be a great way to overcome stress and anxiety, to escape from reality, to deal with our emotions, or just to get away from the everyday life. We get so caught up in our busy lives that our eating habits have become rushed. In fact, we're more centered around quantity over quality, or on how fast we can do it, rather than the simple pleasure of taking our time and enjoying it. So now it's time to change our perspective on this thing. Change our perspective on eating. If you've ever practiced meditation, you know that it allows you to get in touch with your feelings. Imagine using that process to get in touch with the full flavor, with the joy brought out in our food. Mindful eating is about being present in the meal. It's about focusing our attention on the food. When you slow down and let the flavors develop on your palate, you'll know what it's truly like to enjoy eating. Mindful eating allows you to become aware of the positive and nurturing opportunities that are available through the food that you select, through the process of preparation. It's about respecting your own feelings, your own intuition. It's about using all of your senses in everything connected to that food, from how you choose it to how you use it to nourish your body. Mindful eating is about acknowledging your responses to food, what you like, what you don't like, what's kind of in between, without judgment, and becoming more aware of your physical hunger and when you're satisfied. It's a process that will change your relationship to food forever. To start, it begins with slowing down, with making the right choices. When we take the time to choose food that's going to serve our health, we're making a mindful choice. Like anything we do mindfully, we bring ourselves into the present by focusing on the breath. Just take 2 or 3 deep breaths before you start to eat. You can do this to yourself. Nobody even really will notice. Just do it. Bring yourself fully present into the space and into the meal. While you're doing that, try to think about how hungry you are. Get in touch with how you feel. Think about the look and the colors and the texture. And then imagine how it will taste and feel in your mouth. Go even a step further. Think about where that food came from. Imagine or remember how it was prepared. Appreciate it rather than taking it for granted. Mindfully, you need to express gratitude for it. Always remembering that whether it's a plant or an animal, whatever it is, something sacrificed itself for this meal. Someone, or maybe it was even you, labored to prepare this meal for you. Appreciate it. Mindfully show gratitude for what you're about to eat. This is how grace began, giving thanks for what you're about to eat. When you eat, stay focused on small bites. If it's a protein, cut it up into small pieces. Then while you're chewing, take the time to allow the flavors to develop on your palate. We have been programmed to focus on the saltiness or sweetness of food. So much so that we miss all the nuanced flavors that are there. Take the time to enjoy, to relax, and ask yourself how it tastes. Do you taste the sweetness, the texture, the crunchiness or the creaminess, the different spices? Identify the texture and the temperature and the flavor and the consistency. These things are waiting to be appreciated. There is so much to be discovered in that one little bite of food if you take your time. And while you're doing that, you have to put your fork down. Let it rest. This allows you to be present in that bite. Because if you're holding that fork, you're going to mindfully start to reach for that next bite while you're still chewing on the original bite. And that's not being present. You may not realize you're doing it, but you will. So put the fork down and be present in what you have in your mouth. Slowing down allows your body time to communicate how that food is being processed. It lets your body tell you your level of hunger. When we eat fast, our body doesn't have time to receive the signals of how full we are. That's why when we eat a big meal and we're not present and we just mass consume it, we feel overly stuffed and bloated. That's not natural. Your stomach would send you the signal that it's full if you gave it time. But most of the time, we eat too fast, and our body doesn't have time to process the signals. It sneaks up on us because we aren't present. So let's just change our entire focus on how we look at food. Change our perspective. People who are overweight or who fight the battle of being heavy tend to think about food as numbers. We look at things as calories or fat or sodium or carbs, how much are on each item. We look at the labels, we read what it's all about. We've been doing this for decades, and it still doesn't work. You know why? Because it doesn't matter. If you're eating too much of it, you're going to keep gaining weight. We tend to think that food is more about the number. Instead of taking the time to enjoy that delicious muffin in small bites, we think about how it fits in our diet plan. Instead of enjoying the pleasure and the texture and the creaminess of that lasagna, we think about how much weight we're going to gain or what we're going to have to give up tomorrow because of what we're eating today. Mindful eating restores the pleasure in the food without sacrificing the goal. And of course, I know we're all starting to do it. We're starting to make excuses. We start to think about how we don't have time to eat this way. We don't have time to sit back and breathe and enjoy the meal. Heck, and that might be true sometimes. But there is no way you have to rush through every single meal. It may happen. It may happen at breakfast. It may happen at lunch. Whatever it is, you might have to rush through one meal or two meals a day. But it doesn't have to happen every meal. It would be awesome to say you have time to eat slowly and steadily every meal. And trust me, once you start practicing it, you'll find it. But reality gets in the way of our best intentions. So here I'm going to challenge you to make an effort. Make an effort to do it one meal at a time. And then try to eat mindfully at more meals than not. And you'll start to see a difference. After time, it just becomes a normal practice. Just like if you practice meditation on a daily basis, it becomes part of your life. You just have to get used to it. By purposely focusing your attention on the present, you can help to embrace life. Just as I teach every client, being present, being mindful, allows you to embrace companionship, to make deeper connections, to be content in the present and with what you have. And it helps to make life more meaningful. And when you practice this while eating, you can make better connections with your food and, most importantly, with how your body feels. So try to make an effort to eat consciously, sitting down at a table rather than eating on the run, taking the time to savor the smells and the textures and the flavors in each and every bite, and chewing thoughtfully and thoroughly, putting the fork down, letting it rest while you focus, and you'll feel satiated sooner. You'll consume less along the way. And by thoroughly chewing your food, it digests more easily, and your body gets the time to fully absorb and make use of the nutrients that you've provided it. So here's the goal. The goal is always to consume less, not through deprivation, but through satisfaction. How great is that? Less is more. Give up on the restrictions and open your mind to being present with your food. You'll be satisfied with much less. And that's the key to a healthier life. Stop with the crazy diets and just be present with your meal. You'll be thankful. You'll be happy. And you'll lose weight along the way. So this next section is a meditation. It's a guided meditation. And it's about 30 minutes long. And if you don't have time to do it now, just stop here and you can continue later. But to do so, you need to take the time to relax. And make sure you're doing this in a place where you won't be distracted. Just get yourself comfortable. And just relax for a few moments. This is going to help focus your mind on the process of eating mindfully. And if you've ever been through a guided meditation before, it's all about just letting go. Because we want to connect with your subconscious mind. We want to turn off all the noise and the distractions and just let go. So if you want to continue, just find a comfortable place where you're going to be able to close your eyes and relax. So as I start, I want you to just be as comfortable as you can with your feet side by side, with your hands at your side. And I want you to take in a nice deep breath and feel that breath go in and then release. Take in another breath, nice and comfortably, and release. And continue to breathe like that for just a few moments as you listen to my voice. The process of this meditation is to bring you into the present, to focus you on the here and now, so that we can make a connection with your subconscious mind to buy into the process of mindfully eating. It's a simple idea. The simplicity is amazing. You just have to let go of your judgments and your preconceived notions of how you eat and how you approach food. So just continue to breathe nice and comfortably. And just listen to my sound of my voice as you drift deeper with your eyes closed and allow yourself to feel relaxed. I'm going to take you on a journey. The beginning of this meditation is all about relaxing your body so that we can relax your mind. And just as you've been breathing nice and steady, your mind controls your body. Without even thinking, you continue to breathe. Your heart beats. It's the automatic process And your mind controls your body, and it controls your relaxation. So your mind can relax every part of your body by just thinking about it. So just follow along with me now as I take your mind through the process of relaxing your body so you can be fully present. So think about focusing your mind on the top of your head and your forehead. And imagine relaxing the frown lines and relax your brow. Move that relaxation down into your temples and around your eyes. And with this focus, think about your eyelids and imagine that they feel cool and refreshing as they lay across your eyes. And this just helps you relax. And all the while you continue to breathe nice and easy and move that relaxation down into your cheeks and into your jaw. And here I want you to separate your jaw just a little bit to release the tension and just breathe. Now with your next breath, move that relaxation down into your neck and your throat. And on your next exhale, I want you to imagine releasing your shoulders, like you've shrugged them up and let them go. And imagine them dropping down just a little bit. And just continue to breathe as we move that relaxation down your arms, into your hands and fingers, feeling peaceful, starting to sink down just a little bit more as you relax down through your chest and your stomach. Relax down through your hips, and with your mind, push that relaxation down through your thighs, past your knees, and your calves. And taking a nice comfortable breath, and on your exhale, imagine pushing that relaxation down into your feet and your toes. And you feel so comfortable and relaxed. You've moved relaxation from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Now I want you to think about that relaxation like a wave. And as it reached your toes, it bounces back up. And imagine that wave moving back up your body ever so slowly, just going back up. And as it does, it releases and relaxes any tension that it finds. Any remaining tension in your body is released as that relaxation moves up, all the way up to the top of your head. And then once again, it moves back down. Just like a wave going back and forth, it slowly goes back down. And as it moves down your body, it touches every muscle, every fiber and cell and joint and organ, every little part of your body is touched by this relaxation. As you continue to breathe, you feel yourself sinking down just a little bit more with each breath. And that wave continues to flow back and forth like a wave on the ocean, always moving back and forth, like you're drifting on a little boat in the sea. And that boat rocks ever so gently back and forth. Just imagine you're floating on a peaceful blue sea, feeling safe and secure, peaceful and calm. And looking up in the sky, a white puffy cloud is drifting along with you as you continue to float ever so gently. Just let your mind wander. Don't control it. Just drift deeper into this calm, relaxing feeling as you listen to the sound of my voice. Just let go. And in this peaceful, relaxing place, we're going to focus our intention on this new idea of being present in our meals, on learning how less is more. Because we really want to achieve the goal of being healthier. And you've decided that it's time to try something different. And we agree that we all love food. And we've become programmed and accustomed to need large amounts of food. But through this meditative process, we're going to reprogram ourselves. We're going to experience far greater sense of satisfaction from eating less by being focused. Common sense tells us that we don't really need large plates of food. And this is why you've taken the time to listen to me today. Overeating and choosing the wrong food is just an undesirable habit that we've all been drawn into. But through the process of meditation and connection with the subconscious mind, we can discover the pleasures of creating more beneficial habits, of being able to explore the textures and tastes of our food in smaller, more manageable portions. Americans are programmed to eat far more than we ever will need, and that excess food just turns into fat. So I want you to think about this for a minute. Think about a newborn baby. Most babies begin their lives on milk, and then they gradually proceed and progress to more pureed foods and solid foods. But the amount that they take in is sufficient for them to grow into healthy children and adults. Now, a baby's stomach is much smaller than ours. But the more that it eats, the bigger its stomach gets. And the bigger the stomach gets, the more they want to eat. So if we were able to reverse that process, then the less we eat, the smaller our stomachs will become. Now, of course, we're not going to revert back to eating the same amount as a baby. But what we can do is use the subconscious mind to create a link to the logical process of eating only what we need. As a baby and as a child, we stopped eating when we were full. The process of overeating is a learned behavior. So we're going to create a link back to the logical side of us. Just allow your mind to drift back. Drift back to a time when you felt healthy. Back to a time when your stomach was smaller. Back to a time when you ate much less than you do now. When you listened to your body and stopped when you had enough. And just think about how much simpler that was. You took the time to be connected with your body, to know when it was full. Now imagine your stomach is shrunk back to that size. Just think about it, being smaller and smaller, like a balloon that slowly lost its air. Now we already showed the connection between how the mind can relax the body. Now through this meditation, we're going to focus on how the mind connects to the stomach. And I want you to imagine that your stomach is much, much smaller. Just experience the feeling of a smaller stomach. Know that it can hold just the right amount of food. Just the right amount of food that's going to help you lose weight. You're building this connection between your mind and your stomach to allow the signals to flow freely. Because for too long, we've lost that connection. We just continue to eat and eat until everything on our plate is gone. And this is a learned behavior. It's not logical. Logic would tell us to stop eating when we're full. And this has to be your new reality. And it's going to take some practice. Because it goes against our training to leave food on the plate. Our parents or our teachers or somebody close to us in the past told us we had to clear our plates. And sometimes we were probably enticed by the promise of a treat when we cleared our plates. But we're not children anymore. We don't need to be rewarded for clearing our plates. There's not going to be some child in some far off land that's going to starve because we didn't clear our plate. Let's be grown-ups here. You can leave food on the plate and you won't be punished. Nobody's going to starve. Once you let that sink in, focus your mind on the reality of what your stomach is going to need. Think about how your stomach is smaller. I want you to imagine yourself at a regular mealtime. Notice whoever you usually eat with is there with you. Now I want you to imagine that you're eating a healthy meal. Experience the smell. Think about the color. And as you look at your meal, I want you to think about the fact that you won't be able to eat all that food. That has to be your first thought. There is more than enough food on that plate. And then you pick up your knife and your fork. And you begin to cut up your food into very small pieces. And you take one bite. And you start to chew it thoroughly, slowly. And you set your fork and knife down so that you can truly be present in this bite of food. And because you're chewing it slowly, you're surprised to discover how the texture and the taste has improved. You give your taste buds a chance to savor and enjoy each mouthful. And then you swallow it when you're ready. And then you proceed on to the next bite and do the same thing. Then set your fork and knife down. And ever so slowly, with each enjoyable mouthful, before you've even come close to finishing your meal, you're already full. Because your stomach is smaller. Think about it. Imagine it's not protruding. Imagine it's not bloated. Because you're eating much less. And you're feeling more satisfied on smaller amounts of food than you ever thought possible. And all the while you're breathing and relaxing and being present. And you look around at the other people that you're with, and you notice that they're stuffing their bodies. And you find that you're totally fine, and you have no feelings of being deprived, no feelings of guilt for leaving that extra food on the plate. You've had enough to eat and you stop. And as a direct result of this, you feel better and happier and healthier and fitter. You start to find that you have more energy after you eat. Because by controlling your portions and the amount of food you eat, your blood sugar levels remain steady. You fulfilled and filled the smaller stomach. and you really don't want or need any more. And because you're satisfied, you can go from one meal to the next without even thinking about food. That's all your body needs. And of course, the less you eat, the smaller your stomach becomes. And in the process of mindfully eating, little by little, you find that the weight begins to drop off. And it feels so good. So before we finish, I want you to project your mind into the future. Think about 6 months or so down the road. 6 months after eating this way, use your imagination to picture yourself after you've lost so much weight and you feel healthier and fitter. And here's a fact. When you lose the weight, all of the systems in your body start to work in harmony together. You have less strain on your heart. Your joints are far more able to support you without the stress of the excess weight. And therefore, you're able to walk further and faster, and you have more energy. There's less pain and stress on your body. And you just feel good. And you're able to continue because this has become your life. You are able to focus on your food, to be present in your meal, to savor and enjoy the pleasure of eating, and be healthy and happy and peaceful. You find that when you're able to eat this way, you feel proud of yourself. And you deserve to be proud of yourself. As you start the conscious practice of being present, of being focused on what you're putting in your mouth, how you're eating it, and how it satisfies you. It allows you to reap the rewards of a slimmer and healthier body. So from this moment forward, you decide that you're going to be present in your meals, that you're only going to be able to eat what you need. You're going to slow down and enjoy. And this makes you feel good because you're not depriving your body of anything it needs. You're not cutting yourself off from the things that you enjoy to eat. You're just enjoying them in smaller portions. And in this way, you have taken control of your body and your mind and your health. You are in control. You are strong and capable. So in the process of this meditation, these suggestions are planted in your mind now, and it's time for you to take action. They're embedded in your subconscious mind, and they're going to grow stronger and stronger day by day if you take action on them. They grow stronger by the day, stronger by the night, and stronger by the hour. So let's bring yourself back into the present. Bring yourself back into the room and take in a nice deep breath and feel yourself in that chair or on that couch or bed. And as the count to 3, we'll open our eyes. As the count is 1, 2, 3. Thank you for taking the time to listen and enjoy this process.